we'll be diving deeper into the strong relationship between culture and Web3, as well as what we can expect from a Web3-powered world.
Congratulations on everything you've achieved so far with the Like a Brush project. I think it's incredible what you're doing for a good cause.
The way I think about investment, I always want to have a good impact on the society, and how can I change lives. I'm very animated about giving back and giving back to my country, giving back to the youth. And so everything that I'm doing with my foundation or academy, the way that I'm looking at NFT will be the same thing. I want to give back.
Blockchain is disrupting art markets as a whole. It's not only physical versus digital. I think there are actually some fundamental changes to market dynamics in the making, and one of them is the shift of power from intermediaries such as galleries, art dealers, towards the creators and artists. So for artists, I think blockchain means, first of all, Web3 means like a new mediums of expressions to experiment, to create differently, and also to showcase their work differently to also a different audience.
In this collection, I had the opportunity to work on 3D, on music, video animation, and not only digital painting. And that was really cool for me to do that.
I'm actually excited about the fading of the slow fading of the speculation around NFTs, because we've had that crazy speculation time from 2020 to even until now, but I think now it starts to fade, and it will leave room for real use cases to thrive.
I'm working right now on a big personal project that can really influence and help athletes to have resources, to be successful. I can't say more than that. More news will be coming.
Next week, we're opening the Alphaverse, which is the metaverse that we have been working on for more than a year. And one of the key principles is to let people upload content freely. First, we're making sure that everyone can have access to art. Second, we're making sure that any artist can upload any content they have created. And third, we're making sure that anyone can buy the piece of art.
When I've organized the first French auction of NFTs, it was almost all artists from the first market, so I had the role of a gallery. So NFTs are really repositioning intermediaries, and it's very interesting to see and to think about it. And what I wanted to say too for the democratization, especially for artists, is the system of the royalties that NFTs permit, which allow artists to get some money in case of resale.
I think, but with the tools and with the proper training and bringing us the audience, this is the best opportunity for every artist. And then down the road, you will see more and more artists, investors, visitors coming. And I think if we reach that, I think we will have reached our objective, definitely.
What do you think? Web3 and the music industry, how will it impact artists in the future?
We don't share really that data today with the labels of with the artist itself, and that's something that I would really like to change. I would like to become a platform that starts connecting artists to fans. It starts sharing data with the artist about their fans, who they are, like what they consume, what they like, and I think that will be the beginning that will trigger a lot of new opportunities.
We're often not conscious of how the formats of our entertainment experiences are direct byproducts of the mediums through which we experience them, right? Part of what Web3 will do is not just influence the way that music is monetized or how we track the provenance of where sounds come from, or the owners of those files, if you will, or how fan experiences are being impacted. But the very nature of creativity, especially when we move away from the linearity that we are used to when we're consuming music, will dramatically change the very experience of music. What it would be like to be in a song? What it would be like if you're experiencing music in a non-linear way, but your relationship to that sound changes based on where you are, or perhaps you're contributing part of it and then you're resharing it to somewhere else.
You doesn't necessarily have to have exactly the same value chain. You can have, instead of raising funds as an artist going to a record label, you can raising funds by going to your audience out there and do a crowdfunding activity and share the revenues with the ones that helps you with the money, but also with the activity. So if you manage to sort of engage these guys and work with you, all the people that love you will help you.
Who's a fan? Who's a creator? Who's an owner? Now all those three are becoming more of the same, right? A fan can be an owner and can be a co-creator. An artist can be an owner and a consumer at the same time.
Involving the fans, making them be part of that experience is something that is just not there yet today. And I can totally see that happening relatively soon. And it would be amazing once you actually engage with bring the audience in.
Live Art is a team of builders. We are seasoned entrepreneurs who collectively have built 11 companies. We are global, based in New York, London, Madrid, Hong Kong, and Singapore. But what really sets us apart from other Web3 projects is that our roots are in the art world. We believe that the future of art is Web3. Art is an enormous $2 trillion asset class that is not currently tokenized, and we view our mission as bringing brands, creators, and communities into Web3 with art. Why do we believe this? Because Web3 has forever shifted art market dynamics from gatekeepers like galleries, dealers, and auctions to creators and IP holders. Blockchain solves problems that the art market has faced for centuries, like authenticity, provenance, royalties. Web3 collaborations of consumer brands like Tiffany's and Gucci are bringing mainstream consumers to art, and this brings art to mainstream consumers. And as a result, Web3 has, just in the last couple of years, doubled the size of the global art market with new forms of art, such as generative art, and also tokenization and hybrid sales formats. This is really a breakthrough moment for art. And to us, coming from the art world, this is all incredibly exciting. And so now, we are bringing our creators, communities, and brand partners to BNB Chain and to the Binance community.
We are the largest Web3 community. We are a smart contract platform with 1 million daily active users and more than 1,400 decentralized apps in the ecosystem and counting. We have proven scalability in terms of technology robustness to serve 1 million daily active users, but our goal is to get to 1 billion users.
Our premium anime GameFi project Stellar Fantasy will be launched this year.
We are the skill-based competitive gaming platform nominated 2 years in a row at the Best Innovation category at Mobile Games Awards. And we have an audacious plan in mind, and that is to change the casual games industry forever. And we believe that games are the mechanism that will allow people to experience crypto with ease.
TronChess is a yield-enhanced asset tracker with varied risk-return solutions. So we have a product for every type of users. Whatever risk capacities or appetites you have, there's a product for you. When you stake Queen, Bishop, or Rook in TronChess, you'll be able to receive chess. And if you actually lock chess with us, you'll be able to receive on a weekly basis 50% of all the protocol revenue. And obviously, by locking chess, you will also be able to get a lot of long-term rewards. Last but not least, you'll be able to vote for interesting proposals and also the emission allocation of chess to each of the fund that you really like.
The data providers are going to be the owners of the data itself, and they're going to stream directly onto the blockchain. Now, the owners consist of exchanges as well as trading firms who many times historically have never distributed data before.
So as you can see, we've gotten a showcase of a range of projects and startups today. Again, we have gaming, DeFi, infrastructure, tooling, data, NFTs and art. So because the BNB chain ecosystem is extremely, extremely diverse. But one fun fact is that why we have two gaming categories here is that 40% of our 1 million DAUs are gamers. If you are already live on other chains, exploring new chains, come find us at a BNB chain booth. If you're already building and you have good traction, you think you have good traction and good potential, also come find us where we can potentially work with you on a much deeper level to amplify your growth.
Don't be afraid to take chances. This is a new space. If you have a certain amount of money to invest in this space, just to see how it goes, even if you end up losing it, which hopefully in 10 years you triple or quadruple or tenfold. Just seeing the process of that growth, you'll learn so much. So just keep taking chances is the advice I'd give. Investment takes a lot of time to nurture, to understand, and to grow. So don't expect to see success tomorrow. And if you do, hey, then get a lottery ticket. NFT space has me excited because I feel like I can create these worlds that are beautiful to me and aesthetic, and I can share them with a community that's followed me for so long. And I can also expose myself to an entirely new community that's interested in this space. So there's this, I'm taking my time with it. I'm working on building it because there's a lot of stuff out there that isn't of the highest quality. And if there's one thing that I'd love to see is I would love to see a stronger curation of companies creating quality work. And so in the next NFT project that I'll put myself in front of, it will be about longevity and quality as opposed to something that is launched, that is minted, and that's kept in your wallet for a long time and never seen again.
I completely agree. I think for us as well, focusing on the purpose and utility of our products, of the projects that we align ourselves to, it is really how this industry is going to win and enter the mainstream. Absolutely. So I couldn't agree more.
I'm working on supersonic fast fashion. Designers said, I have to do 8 collections, that's a lot. We're going to do the equivalent to like 1.5 million fashion collections per year thanks to the AI. So, and I don't want my skins to be worth $1,000, I want them to be worth 1 cent. But 1 cent times 1 billion starts to be a bit of revenues.
The main problem is that today the metaverses are still mimicking the real life. I don't know if it's by lack of imagination of what could be done or any other reasons, but I feel that we are not going to the metaverse to do the same thing that we are doing in the real life.
Privilege, privilege, privilege. New CRM can come from NFT. Forget about the artistic value of an NFT. I mean, let's face it, 80% of the NFT we're confronted have a poor aesthetic value. 20% are amazing, 80% are bad. So that, it's going to come to, do you like the Dolce Gabbana NFT rather than this NFT? Yeah, everybody's going to have different opinion, sure. But the brands need to attach privilege. That's the key.
And I couldn't be more aligned with that. I mean, NFTs have so much to offer rather than their only speculative value. And I think utilities and utilities bringing two worlds together are the key, and especially utilities that money can buy. And Gucci have tried, for example, to venture into this kind of benefits with invitation to physical parties or things that are only made for the ones who actually own the NFT, which I think is a good thing. We can go even further. But the moment you offer something that even money can buy, be it an interview with a designer, a privileged time with a designer, whatever it is, invitation to a show, obviously, then you crack something. So yes, I totally think that is the key and that we still need to work on it.
DeFi, decentralized finance, is, of course, part of the Web3 concept, right? So it's that trading that's enabling Web3 economy. And, of course, in the simplest terms, it's the kind of the philosophy, I suppose, behind the blockchain that is embodied in DeFi, right? Where you remove the central counterparty and you live in this permissionless and censorship-resistant world where anyone can transact with anyone through a smart contract. And that is where you can be trustless, permissionless, and of course, that is where things like counterparty risk, for example, or settlement risk get removed from the equation.
We've come so far that the adoption is happening. There are hundreds of millions of people engaged in this space, millions of wallets, et cetera, billions and billions of volume. But on the other hand, we've got so far to go. There's so much left to be done, and one of the big areas is to get some level of harmonized, consistent regulatory framework, and until we have that, it's going to be a challenge for large pools of institutional capital to get involved.
Well, I'm quite bullish on the decentralized autonomous organizations, like digital cooperatives that can bring more equality and adaptability to the organization, especially when the property rights would be also manageable through that. I'm really looking more into the regenerative finance, like taking blockchain out of a problem to a solution to our environmental and sustainability issues. And also things like decentralized science, where we can democratize the access to the important intellectual property like longevity research. I think in the long run, that would be among the major innovations in the space.
We're seeing just the beginning of just how high potential regenerative finance can be to address the climate crisis by creating incentive structures and solutions related to taking care of our natural resources, reducing carbon, and finding ways to enable communities to create new income streams that will improve their livelihoods to do so. So we've invested in a range of companies that incentivize communities to take care of forests, of their natural resources, to practice adaptive and regenerative agriculture by basically connecting those carbon offsets to carbon credit markets, and then connecting those carbon credits on chain, tokenizing them and putting them on chain.
I spend a lot of my time trying to answer a question, why do financial markets break down all the time? Humans are a weak link in financial markets. Humans are always cheating, lying, trying to steal, they need to be paid bonuses, they need to be incentivized, they get sick. So if you can replace humans with math and code, maybe this thing works better. And a lot of the efforts that you see that's been happening in the automation of markets, automation of finance, and the regulation that's underpinning that are in some way related to that money and finance is software. It's code. And that is how we need to teach it. Once this code is deployed in such a way that it could serve societal purpose sometimes much better than traditional institutions can do it.
A few of us have already mentioned earlier reporting, transparency. Well, this is something that traditional finance needs. This is something that regulator needs. And with kind of a blockchain network able to show all the transactions that's possible, instead of like a traditional investment bank where you need to do manual reporting, perhaps once the transaction is on-chain, everything can be sieved out by regulators or whoever wants to look at it transaction by transaction, and using big data analysis, you'll be able to get the information and kind of like the big picture that you're looking at.
Overall idea is to, I think all the collaboration will come next year or maybe in 2 years, and it's really exciting because at the end, the end game is for bank, for financial institution, to give access to their user to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and it is when this time will arrive that cryptocurrency will come mainstream, DeFi will come mainstream, because we have a lot of users and they are interested now, but they want to have a regulated entity that take care of all the constraints like private key and all the insurance that need to do for us.
Can we expect retail bank to allow cryptocurrency payment and holding in the near future?
I think so. I think for the banks that want to survive, yeah, we can expect that. I actually don't think that's very far away. I think today, global adoption-wise, we're somewhere between 1% to 5%, depending on which number you use to calculate. adoption is exponential growth. For an exponential growth curve, 1% is the half mark. So within a few years, I think we'll see a lot more adoption. So also for this reason, I actually don't spend a lot of my time talking to people who are against crypto. I don't like to play piano to cows, right? So, I like to talk to people who want to understand crypto, or at least not against it. So this is this way, I think that's the best use of my time.
At the core of it is trust, right? And if you lose trust because of a scam or because of the technology falling over or because of the asset becoming worthless, no education in the world can help you. And I mean, to make an analogy with what we all know today, and which I've been spending quite a bunch of time on, which is credit card payments. There's scams all the time. We know that. But consumers know that they have recourse. They know that there is consumer protections there. And that's why it's okay to use it.
There's still a lot of things we need to learn from traditional financial institution. And here we just want to make the user experience better. But I think with the help of like AI, like database, we want to guarantee like the safety of everyone's assets. I hope in the future we can keep the decentralization, and at the same time we will provide like a safer place for everyone to use blockchain.
I'm really bullish about where this is going, and I think we need to find that pragmatic bridge from what we know today in the real world to it's not like Web3 is not the real world, but the next real world out there.
I do envision a future where everyone have the full ownership of their own digital footprints, of their own data, the value that creates, and be able to get the upsides in that environment. I think that is what's the most revolutionary about this space, is this technology can bring in a new type of social economic relationship amongst organizations, individuals, and the public stakeholders. And to do that, we need that privacy, we need the security, and we need the ease of the use. And I'm looking forward to the next 5 to 10 years and how we get to that better place.